Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Nerds and a Podcast. Today we're doing a little short and sweet episode because we're like hella late recording this, but we're going to talk about Wicked. We are specifically going to be
Ooh.
talking about the play Wicked because neither Casey nor I have seen the movie, but I saw the play for the first time last night, so I figured we could talk about that and then we could talk about maybe our predictions for the movie. And then when
Mhm.
we eventually get around to watching that, we can talk about it then. I don't think the movie is a need to see for either of us.
No.
So we may just watch it next year when the second half comes out so we can just watch it all in one shot instead of part one and part two.
Yeah, like, the movie looks good, but it's not one I'm racing out to see.
Yeah.
Also, I just listen, in my personal opinion, I think Ariana Grande looks terrible in that movie.
Oh, yeah, she does. The her eyebrows I think are the
Oh,
thing that gives
they're
me
so
the
bad.
Yeah, yeah, especially because she's got her own makeup company. She's really known for her very, like, stylized makeup and all of that too, and it's just, like, not there. Like, she has
Yeah.
such dark black eyelashes and eyeliner happening, and then, like, the super blonde brows, and I'm like, she looks like I don't know how to describe her, but it just looks, like, off.
Yeah,
Like
it's, like, not
something
it's, like, unsettling to look at her in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's just like you're looking at her going, "What? Something is wrong." Like, I don't
Yeah, you're like, "I don't know
understand.
what it is, but something is wrong with you."
Yeah. But I do like in the movie Alphabuzz, first of all, her braids that she has,
Mhm.
stunning. Love the braids. I also really like her glasses in the movie versus in the play because at least in the play in the version that I've seen, she's got the kind of classic oval, no frame, dorky glasses, which,
Mhm.
like, I get is kind of like classic nerd, but I really like her, like, super round, funky glasses in the movie promos that I have seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I definitely wanna see it, but it's not my top priority of movies to see.
Yeah, it's like
So,
one of those, like, when it hits a streaming service
yeah.
eventually, you're like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll sit and watch it."
Yeah, might as well. So what did you think about the play?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Now, I've heard, like, a lot of the songs that were in Act 1,
Mhm.
so I kinda, like, knew where we were going, but I really never paid attention to, like, what exactly the story was or what was happening. Um, I do know, like, that reading the book versus seeing the play is almost like two separate things. Like, you can't do a comparison really because I know the books are really political and a bit on the darker side versus the movie.
Mhm.
Um I I like originally I always thought it was like a Glinda versus Alphaba, like they started off as friends and then became enemies. But I was pleasantly surprised that they were never actually like actual enemies. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
Glenda was always trying to find Alphaba, and Alphaba was just always on the run in part two. But like she never wanted her like dead. She wanted to find her to like try and like change her mind or reverse whatever had happened, and it wasn't like an enemies kind of situation. It was facade for them, which I was very happy about.
I would love to re-watch the play because when I saw it, it was like,
Hmm.
God, how old was I? I wanna say it was either, like, late middle school or early high school
Ah,
was
yeah,
when I
like when
saw
it
it. My mom,
first
like,
kind
got
of
tickets to
took
see it.
off. Hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll see it," and I remember being obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Um, I probably still have the shirt somewhere that I bought from the theater or my mom bought. I made her buy me.
yeah. Well, duh.
Um, but I remember, yeah, really, like, really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Um, I would wanna see it again.
Yeah, it's definitely worth, as far as, like, the stage play goes, definitely worth seeing more than once if you can. It's so stunning,
Mhm,
the stage and the set design, absolutely amazing. Like, I'm always baffled because I was in, like, a lot of plays in high school, and we did the best we could with the, like, 0 budget that we had, but it's so amazing to see
mhm.
when you give something like a play a budget for backgrounds and costumes and everything. It's so amazing. Like Glinda's, every single costume she had this sparkle on all of her
Oh, yeah.
costumes and all of her jewelry and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was stunning. Stunning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was, like, a point in, my it had to have been, like, probably high school, where my mom was, like, really obsessed with, like, plays and musicals, so we
Mhm.
saw, like, a bunch of them. But, yeah, I'm always, like, really impressed with, like, how they do, like, the costumes and the, like, background and the props and everything, and I'm like, "That's so crazy."
Yeah.
That they just, like, design a whole set in, like, that little time.
Yeah, and like
Very
how
cool.
at least in Wicked, like how much it changes within
Mhm.
just like one song, let alone from song to song.
Yeah, plays are really cool. I've never been in a play, but if I were to be in one, I would be in Wicked probably.
Yeah, and hearing a lot of, like, the iconic songs, especially Elphaba's, like, super high notes, it's chilling just to
Mhm.
hear it, like, on, like, a TikTok or a video or something like that, but to hear it in person, like,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Like, I can't imagine being able to sing like that. That would I would just, like, be, like, blowing my own mind all the time if I could sing like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, how they do it, props to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who is in a play.
Yeah, cause man, I know it's a
Yeah,
ton of work, all that dancing and singing
oh,
at the same time.
absolutely.
I was gonna say it's really cool because like, the ensemble cast is, like, constantly, like there'll be one character, and then they go backstage and have a costume change, and then they come out as, like, a different like, they're always in the background, but there was a couple people I'm like, "Oh, you were in this one earlier in this costume, and you were in this one." So, like, props to anybody who is quote, unquote, "background" for
Mhm.
plays because y'all are wearing literally so many different hats all the time and singing so many different songs and know so much choreography. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
insane.
absolutely. Ugh, I couldn't even imagine.
No.
Especially something like that, like, that's so big and, like, so popular.
Yeah. You gotta be on your A game because literally there's so many I mean, when I went over the weekend, um, it was a full house.
Really?
Like, yeah. I went to the Pantages, every single seat was filled.
Dang.
Yeah.
I should go see it. I wonder where I don't know if they would have any down here where I live, but I would
Maybe it
love
is
to
a
see it again.
touring show, so they might be. I know
Well,
they're in LA until February. I
maybe
think
they'll come to
February, like,
Vegas.
3rd or something. Yeah, maybe they will. Make Corey take you.
Yeah, because I haven't. I should actually watch the movie because it has been a while
Mhm.
since I've seen the play or the musical. Um,
Yeah.
but when I was in my full obsession with it, I listened to that soundtrack for a good while.
Yeah. It's so good.
Which is good. The soundtrack is amazing also, like, the songs, so good.
Yeah. Now, who's your favorite character?
Probably Glinda. Um,
Really?
just because yeah, because she not that she reminds me of me, but she reminds me of what I wish I could be, which is pink and sparkly and, um, cutesy.
Yeah. She's very
Um,
kawaii.
Yes, absolutely. She is just my kinda gal.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite character?
My favorite character is Fiero
Let me look up these
because
motherfuckers because 'cause it's been a minute.
Fiero is the one that Glinda is like, she's like, "Oh, he's perfect, so we should be together."
Oh!
But he's actually in love with Alphaba. And
Yeah, yeah,
honestly,
yeah, yeah.
so
Mhm, mhm.
in the movie, they cast Jonathan Bailey, who is Anthony Bridgerton in Bridgerton, and I absolutely
What?
love him in Bridgerton. And so I was like, he has like that perfect face that he can be really smug and a butthole,
Mhm.
and you just want to like, he's so cute, but you also like want to murder him at the same time because he's got like such a fat head. But, like, in Bridgerton specifically, like, the first season, he's like that, and then, like, by the 3rd season, when his character is married, he's, like, the cutest, lovey-dovey, supportive husband/big slash big brother, and you just wanna, like, cuddle him and, like, squeeze his cute little face. So, when they
Mhm.
cast him in this role, I was like, I wonder, like, because again, the snippets I've seen from the movie, I'm like, okay, obviously he's a love interest, but I didn't know who he was a love interest for. So after seeing
Mhm.
the play, like that for me, that's a 10 out of 10 movie casting for Fiero. I was also kind of worried because I thought Fiero was just gonna be a jerk because like
Mhm.
he's always like talking about like his song is dancing through life. Um, and so, and he's a prince. He's been to many schools, and now he's at Shiz University. Which, side note, Shiz University is literally the worst university name I've ever heard of. I thought Hogwarts was bad, but I think Shiz is worse as a
Yeah.
name.
Shiz.
Um, Shiz, because it sounds like many other words, especially when they're singing songs.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought Furo was just gonna be a big old jerk and be kind of like a mirror image of, I would say, Glinda's kind of facade. I thought he was going to be really shallow and a jerk, and then it turns out that he's not. He just doesn't know how to communicate his feelings effectively, which is a lot of problem for a lot of people. So, like, understandable. But I was really glad that he actually like has a heart of gold. Also, the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz has always been my favorite character from The Wizard of Oz. So the fact that Fiero turns into the Scarecrow makes my heart happy because that's just like, but that's always been my favorite character. So I'm like, yes, my both my favorite character in Wicked and my favorite character in The Wizard of Oz are the same character, and I love that for me.
What? I'm trying to think who my favorite character in The Wizard of Oz is.
I
Toto.
also yeah, Toto's like 10 out of 10 for everybody. I feel like Toto doesn't
Mhm.
count because Toto's everybody's favorite. Like, if you don't
True.
like Toto, you need to get out.
Get out of here.
Yeah, jump off a cliff,
Scram.
please.
Yeah. Go on, get.
um, but I never realized. So, like, I knew the beginning of Wicked was them in like school together, and it's very kind of like high school ish kind of. I don't want to say catty, but it is a bit catty. Like, that just reminded me of like a teen like
Yeah.
movie where they're, oh, she's green and oh, she's pink and sparkly and blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah,
I was
pretty
actually
much.
excited to go into act 2 because I didn't know like how far into the future that would be. And I didn't realize it was basically behind the scenes of The Wizard of Oz. Like, I thought
Mhm.
that was a cool, like, here's what's happening, like, because everybody knows what's happening in The Wizard of Oz. So it's like, here's what's happening behind the scenes and kind of slightly before it. And I would like to say that Nessa Rose did indeed deserve to be smashed by a house. Like,
Yes.
she deserved that. I can't believe how much of a jerk she was to her sister and to that poor boy that she like
Who
trapped in
did they cast
servitude.
anybody
And
that I
then
know for her?
for Nessa Rose, I don't
Yeah.
think so. I am very excited to see in the movie Jeff Goldblum as the wizard. Um,
Yes. Oh my gosh, I
so
know.
yeah. So Nessa Rose is in the movie played by Marissa. I'm gonna say Bode. I don't know if it's Bode or Bode. Let me see. I don't think she's really been in anything. She has not. This is literally like her.
What? That's
This
crazy.
is her third movie. Her
Her
third movie.
breakthrough?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big movie.
Um. Yeah, and to be alongside like big name actors as well. Um. But yeah, she definitely Nessa Rose deserved to be squished by a house. I do feel bad because like Dorothy took her shoes and Elphaba was like, "Those are my sister's shoes. That's all I've got left of her. Like, how dare you?" And like, I feel you, Elphaba. Like now I understand why she wanted the shoes because she's like, "Those are that's all I got from my sister."
Hey, yeah. Can I have those,
But
please?
yeah,
Thank you.
but yeah, I can't believe I don't remember what his name was. The one that turns into the Tin Man. Um, I feel like it's like Bach or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it's like it's something weird like that.
Because Glenda always calls him the wrong name, and then he always corrects her. So I don't remember. Let me see. Can I look it up real
Yeah, it's
quick?
Bach.
It is Bach. Um,
BOQ.
yeah, I do feel bad for the boy. That's also a very like typical scenario where like somebody is in love with the popular girl and they will do anything for them, but the popular girl definitely does not see them like at all.
Mhm.
Um, and like at first I felt really bad because like Nessa Rose was like, "Oh, Glinda like kind of encouraged him to ask me out and like we're meant to be together." And I'm like, "Ooh, girlfriend, like I that's not what's happening. I hope you figure that out." And she kind of did, but she did the one thing that you shouldn't do and she literally trapped Bach to where he couldn't leave. And like when she became the mayor of Munchkinland, she was like, "You're basically like my servant." And he was like, "Please just let me go. Let me be free." And she was
Please,
like,
please let me go.
yeah. And I felt really bad too, because like she kind of took it as the only reason he didn't love her was because she couldn't, like, she was in a wheelchair. She couldn't walk. And I'm like,
Mhm.
homegirl, like, no, he's just like literally in love with somebody else. Like, I
Right.
mean, and I wouldn't know he was infatuated with somebody else. I wouldn't call it love. Um, and then she like tried to cast a spell to like make him love her, and then like was like basically killing him. And then Alphaba, in order to like not let him die, made him the Tin Man. And I'm like, that is the most tragic backstory for the Tin Man that I could ever think of.
Yeah, now you're gonna look at the Tin Man and be like, "Wow,
Like,
that's
I
so
mean,
sad."
I already felt bad because he didn't have a heart and that's all he was looking for. But like now that I know the reason he doesn't have a heart is because some girl decided she was in love with him, and then that if it was a classic if you don't love me, then you can't love anybody else situation. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, not a good one.
No. And then like I do think it like the whole with Alphaba and Nessa Rose's parents was that her mom was a drunk,
Mhm.
basically. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And like she did bedroom activities with like a stranger, and I was like, wow, wow. Good to know things aren't any different in Oz than they are in
Mhm.
our world.
Things are all the same, perfect.
Mhm. But the wizard was very interesting. I do like that we kind of find out pretty much right away that he's a fake.
Mhm.
Like in the Wizard of Oz, it's revealed like later in the movie, but I like that this is like in the beginning, like we know he's fake, and that kind of dashes Alphaba's dreams right away because she think that like everybody thinks this wizard is like the wizard and he's gonna save everybody and keep everybody safe, and then it turns out that he's the one like causing all of these problems, and he's the one that's like making the animals revert back into true animals instead of like Narnia-esque animals that are very intelligent and can be professors at universities. But I love again. I love that Jeff Goldblum is the wizard in the movie. Like literally, he's the best person to play a problematic man who's really good at putting up like a front.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like literally like the so far it seems like the men of the Wicked movie are like 10 out of 10 casting from me seeing the play. Like I don't once we get into the movie, maybe they won't be so good, but like
But
I
based on
see
what
the
you but
vision.
based on what you know, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and for sure like seeing the play but not seeing the movie yet, like I can see the direction they are trying to go. Like I
Mhm.
understand it. So it's kind of cool to see that. I also love that Glinda travels by bubble on a regular
Yes.
basis.
By bubble. That is,
And yeah, and that Elphaba like points it out. She's like, "We can't all travel by bubble." And I'm like, "Oh my god,
oh my god, imagine traveling by bubble.
no!" I
That'd
feel
be
like that would be
crazy.
awful.
That would be awful. It'd be an experience.
Yeah, because you're standing. You're not even like sitting. And like, how fast does the bubble move? Does it
Right,
move?
like, and, like, is the bubbles yeah, no, there's a lotta, logistics
Yeah,
that are
because
not
like
correct with that.
if you're literally just floating around at bubble speed, like that's like literally the slowest way to travel.
Yeah, you're like,
So,
"Sorry, I can only go so fast on my bubble, okay?"
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I also like too that in the beginning Glinda's essay is like how like wands and what's the point of them, which is hilarious. But
Mhm.
also I love that Alphaba was like told her professor like if you want me to be in your seminar, Glinda has to be in it too and she needs a wand. I was like, "Oh dang."
Oh, dang.
Oh gosh, yeah. I would have loved to have seen this play with Kristen Chenoweth
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Adita Mendel. Like, oh my god. Like again, hearing just their vocals on the soundtrack is bone chilling. I actually need to look at I know somebody somewhere has it posted on YouTube. Um I definitely need to look it up because like Kristen Chenoweth is I mean like I know she is Glinda, but like talk about an icon in
Oh my
every
gosh, I
sense.
know.
Ugh, so good.
Yeah, the original, like, the OG casting of the play
Yeah. Who
is
was the I don't even know who the OG Fiero was. I'm gonna have to look.
that's a good question, actually.
Cause like I feel like we know the ladies, but I don't know Fiero.
Also, I love that like, my favorite thing about Wicked is that everything is pink and green,
Yes.
which is such a good which is such a great color duo.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when we get into like the like glittery
Oh, yes.
stuff. So good. Okay, his name was Norbert Leo Butz.
What a
Boots.
name.
Let me see. Has he been in anything that I know? I feel like the answer is probably no. As far as movies go, he's been in like a lot of like, I would say like C movies, B
Hmm.
movies. I mean, he's mostly a Broadway star. Let me see. Blah blah blah. Wikipedia's asking me to donate money. I don't
Every
want
time.
to. I just want information. Career. He received a Tony Award nomination for the play Thou Shall Not in 2001.
Wow.
Was the original Fiero in 2003. Uh,
2003? Wow.
yeah. Yeah, it says his off-Broadway credits include The Last 5 Years, Saved, Juno and the Paycock, and Cabaret. So he's in a lot of obviously a lot of Broadway stuff. I want to see what he
Yeah.
looks like as Fiero. I need him, but Fiero. I never know how to spell Fiero. I spell it wrong every time. And Google's like, stop! I'm like, just let
What are
me
you doing?
live. Yeah, he was a pretty cute Fiero.
Little cutie
I'll give
patootie?
him that. Yeah. I mean, I think Jonathan Bailey is more of a cutie patootie, but I feel like that's just like in order to play Fiero, you have to be a cutie patootie.
Yeah.
Because you have to have that stupid face where like you want to kiss him and punch him at the same time.
Right. Little cutie
Um
patootie.
yeah, the one that was in the play that I saw was actually a black man. He had very
What?
like yeah, he was very tall, but my god, he had the most nice looking arms
Oh,
I've ever seen with my own two eyes. I mean, they were large. They were large arms.
large in charge. The guns were out.
Yeah. The guns were out even though they were in a long sleeve shirt. They were definitely out.
They were peeking through.
Yeah. They were very defined. Um yes, I also really love for the stage play anytime there is like a creature with wings, like the winged monkeys in this.
Hmm.
The like first of all, just the costume design of the wings themselves because they're always kind of like slightly transparent. But they're kind of rigged really cool where like it just takes like a little bit of like a shoulder shake and the wings like flap almost. So during a couple of scenes and stuff, I mean, like when the monkeys are going wild, it's so mesmerizing just to watch them like slightly move their shoulders a little bit, and these wings are just like flailing all over the place. Um, Also, the professor, the like goat professor, I don't remember what his name is, um, but his costume design was really cool because it was like I don't it was over the top, but like in a good way. It wasn't like, "Oh my god, what is that?" It was like the instant he stepped out on stage, you're like, "That man is a goat." But he's
Yeah.
also like a man.
You're like, it makes
And
sense. I get it.
yeah, like I completely like I was like Narnia vibes is what was happening for me
Yeah. Oh,
in this
absolutely. Yeah.
play. I'm like, yeah, I see it. Like I now understand the obsession that so many people have. Like I
Yeah.
understand. And I will be belting out all of the songs in my car for at least the next few days. Just
So what
full
would you rate
volume.
it?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say probably like a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow, I think that's the highest rating you've given anything on our show so far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just the immense talent to do one, anything live, but also two, like, especially because I am seeing it obviously 20 years after the original one premiered. And so I applaud anybody who not only like tries out to be auditions to be in this play, but then is like doing it every night as a job. Cause like stepping, it's one thing to be the first, but stepping into such iconic shoes, like, yeah, like, I applaud you, and then again, I have been in very small scale productions, but I know all of the work and the love that goes into things like this, so I always applaud the musical theater industry because they are absolutely talented and amazing, and a lot of them don't get recognized for it, um, but yeah, it was, like, understanding all of the iconic songs within the context of the play is definitely like fills in a whole lot of gaps for me as far as like
Yeah.
pop culture and stuff goes. Um and again, like I always understood like Alphaba's story because obviously she's the outcast in this scenario. So I've always understood her, but it was really interesting to see Glinda's full story because I just thought she, she was basically just like a selfish, shallow bitch. you know? And that like again that it was like a it was always meant to be like an evil versus good, but I like that the play is like not everything is so clean cut. Like it's always
Yeah.
kind of
Black and white.
messy and there's
Or
always going to be
green and pink.
green and pink. Um and there's always going to be somebody that is willing to take a stand no matter if they're called the villain or not, and then there's always going to be other people that they don't want that confrontation. They want to be liked by everybody. They don't want to stir the pot. They know something is wrong, but they are not the one that is going to stop it, you know?
Not me.
So
I'm
so
stirring
it
that
was,
pot.
yeah, Casey's throwing the pot.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so it was really cool to see those two perspectives, but also to kind of see like this super glamorous popular girl is like she is out to save her own skin, but there are always going to be select people in your life that you would do anything for.
Mhm.
But also, like, for me, for her basically letting Fiero go is like, I was like stunned. Because honestly, when he left with Alphaba, I was like, she's gonna like kill him, or she's gonna have somebody kill him, or she's like, she's not gonna let this man rest, but she realized that he was not meant for her.
Mhm.
And she's like, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them go be happy. And it is what it is. And for somebody who obviously has gotten everything she's ever wanted, that's a huge step. Like, that's
Yeah.
a huge thing for anybody, let alone somebody who's used to getting everything they want. So I was very proud of Glinda for doing that. I also like how her name got shortened from Galinda to Glinda
Yeah.
because that was her solidarity with her professor getting kicked out because he always said her name that way. She's like, I guess my name's just that way now. Like, I
I
don't think
feel that
that's
though.
it was so good. But yeah, I think this play definitely is a 9.5 out of 10. It's obviously stood the test of time as well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy. I cannot believe it's 20 years ago.
yeah, which is insane, but it's really good. I highly recommend, obviously. I am excited to see the movie, but again, it's not, I don't know if I'll see it in the theaters, but I definitely want
Yeah.
to see it at some point because I have to support Jonathan Bailey, but I also have to support Jeff Goldblum because I love that man.
Yes. Oh, 100%. That is like the main reason.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ariana Grande. Move
No,
over.
sorry. We're going for the boys. But yeah, it was really good. I highly recommend the costumes, the set design, everything was amazing. Um, so again, like I said, they're touring, so I feel like they're gonna have multiple cities to stop in. So you might want to check on that, see if they're in a city near
I'm gonna
you.
check, yeah.
Um, But yeah, it was a good time. Me and my mom went, so we had a really nice time. I also love seeing stuff at the Pantages. So
Did your mom
it's
enjoy it?
really one easy to get to. It's literally yes, my mom really enjoyed it. And it was really nice cuz actually the two ladies we were sitting next to, they also had never seen it. So we were surrounded by quite a lot of people that had never
What?
seen this play. Yeah. And then obviously there was a lot of
That's
people
cool.
there that had seen it because like they were like full there's a lot of people like in like costume, like a lot of people like dressed up for this occasion. So there was a lot of Glendas and Alphabas walking around. A lot of the gentlemen had like really nice like green suits or like it was an event for a lot of people, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, that's always fun. I always love that.
Yeah. So one thing nice about going to places like the Pantages because it's not like super upscale, obnoxious theater. It's very much a
Mhm.
like family kind of almost casual but not casual situation. So you don't have to like dress up to the nines, but there are going to be people dressed to the nines there. So it's
Yeah.
definitely
Me.
really fun.
Me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Casey and I love a good theme. So it was really fun. It was really easy to get parking. It was really easy to get there. There wasn't any traffic. So if you live in the general LA area and you want to go see a show, I highly recommend the Pantages. You can easily make a whole day just on that street because the Funko Pop store is down there.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Amoeba Music is right across the street. So there's a ton of stuff to do in that area. Universal is literally I think it's 3 freeway exits before the exit for the Pantages, so you could always do Universal and then something at the Pantages, so it's there's a lot to do in that really small area, and parking is super easy, which I really appreciate because I hate
Yeah.
parking
Oh, for sure. Especially in
anywhere
LA. Oh my
in
god.
LA. Oh, terrible. And parking was only like 25 bucks.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So recommend. Casey, what is your rating from what you can remember?
From what I can remember, I would say it was probably a 9.5 because I remember being obsessed with it.
Hmm.
I'll have to watch the movie and then we'll have to watch the movie and give our rating
Yeah. See
and
if it holds up.
yes, see if it stands the test of the movie
Yeah.
adaptation.
Yeah, we shall see. I think Jonathan Bailey and what's his name? My gosh, Jeff Goldblum. Like I can picture his stupid face. I think they'll be definitely 10 out of 10. I'm interested to see Ariana Grande and oh, what's her name? I don't remember who plays Alphaba. Cynthia Irvio. I'm
Sometimes
interested to
about that either.
see their dynamic and if it comes across like it does in the play. Like I feel like that's gonna be the trickiest thing to get. Because you don't want to be like I feel like Ariana Grande could either be too catty
Mhm.
and kind of like throw off, but I also think and I have never I mean I've seen Ariana Grande in things. I've never seen Cynthia in anything. So I'm just like throwing stuff out there. It may or may not be true, but I feel like just based on the little snippets I've seen and just like their face. I feel like if Ariana's too catty and Cynthia's too standoffish that the dynamic won't work,
Mhm.
but I do know that both of them had talked to Kristen Chenoweth and Adina Menzel, and had like communicated about like the characters and what they did and things like that. So I feel like they did their research and they've like kind of dug deep into these characters. So I'm hoping that they actually really do a really good job, which I feel like they will.
I
Which
think so.
I don't know if I'll be able to get over Ariana Grande's very blonde
Yeah,
eyebrows.
it's a look for sure, not a great one.
No. And I feel like she's been blonde before and it's been more complimentary to her looks.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like she's just the wrong shade of blonde, you know?
Yeah, it's not a good shade, for sure.
I almost wish they would have made her like a strawberry blonde just to get that little bit of warmth in there. I feel like Ariana Grande always looks good with either like ginger or red hair. Um but that's just my opinion. Um but yeah, Casey, anything to add before we wrap up this episode?
Um, I don't think so. I'm kinda gonna look I know I'm gonna look up to see it if it's playing anywhere out here, the
Yes.
musical.
Yeah. Um, so go see that if you have the chance. If you can't get to the theater or you can't afford the theater because it's not a cheap thing to do, um, oh, I'm sure somebody on YouTube has filmed it. So I did that with a couple of musicals. I've seen a couple musicals that way where it was never playing either in a city that I lived in or I just didn't have any money at the time. So somebody somewhere has filmed it. I would highly recommend. And if you listen to the soundtrack, you're basically watching the play.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I did that with Hamilton. I listened to the soundtrack, and then when they filmed it and put it on Disney Plus, I watched it, and I was like, oh, I've already seen all of this
Yeah, I've already
because
seen this. I already know what's going on.
yeah. So definitely listen to the soundtrack, look it up on YouTube, and check out the movie. If you've seen the movie, leave a comment down below what you thought. Have you seen the play and then you saw the movie, or did you see the movie and now you're gonna go see the play? Let us know your thoughts. I understand why they're making it two movies because we have Act One and Act Two. Um, I just am sad that it's like a year apart. I feel like it should have been like 6 months apart
Yeah, a little bit
at
closer.
most. Um, but that's the movie industry. We don't expect anything less. But yeah, so I think that's all we've got for you this episode. Make sure to subscribe to wherever you're listening to the podcast, and follow us on all the socials so that you keep tabs with us. And we will see you guys in the next episode. So bye.
Bye. Oh gosh. My god.